a global icon for racial equality and the fight against political oppression. He was the leader of the African National Congress, the ANC, his party. He eventually went on to become South Africa's first democratically elected president. This was in 1994. But before that, he was released from prison after 27 years isolated, living in a little cell on Robben Island. That was in 1990. He died peacefully at his home in Johannesburg. He had been fighting a lung infection, had been in and out of hospital for the better part of a year now. He was receiving medical care at his home after 3 months in hospital. Nelson Mandela will receive a full state funeral that's going to happen sometime next week. Flags in South Africa, and I suspect across many countries in the world, they will be flying at half-mast in the next few days. His body will be moved to a mortuary in Pretoria, where it will lie in state, so that it gives an opportunity to world leaders as well as to common people to pay their last respects to Madiba, as he's commonly known and very affectionately referred to. The funeral, like I said, is going to be a state funeral, expected to take place sometime next week. So just as news broke, and this was just about half an hour before midnight, local time in Johannesburg, that South African President Nelson Mandela, the former president, I should say, had died in his home in Johannesburg. A lot of folks started gathering outside his home there and also outside his ancestral home in Soweto. Soweto is just on the outskirts of Johannesburg. That's where Nelson Mandela spent much of his adult life, much of his growing up life as well. It was the first home owned by the Mandela family. In the early hours of Friday, these were the scenes from right outside. Tens of thousands of young people coming out there, singing, dancing, cheering, celebrating the life of Nelson Mandela, celebrating the values that he stood for and that he left behind, celebrating the country that he's left behind. There's been an outpouring of emotion there. Mourners gathering in Vilakazi Street in the Orlando West section in Soweto. Soweto, of course, is in the outskirts of Johannesburg, and that's where Nelson Mandela grew up. He lived there from 1946 to 1962. President Jacob Zuma, of course, was the man who broke the news to the world shortly before midnight. He appeared on national television and broke the news to the world that Nelson Mandela had died. He will receive a full state funeral. All flags will be flown at half-mast. The people of Cape Town, too, have been expressing their shock and sadness at the demise of such a towering figure in their country and globally.
My friend and myself, we were walking on Long Street now, and we were so shocked. I've watched Nelson Mandela as I was growing up, and my birthday is actually on his birthday. So for me, it was like a massive shock, and I can't believe this has happened. I didn't believe it when I heard it. It's really hectic.
To be honest, I was at work when I heard it, and it's quite depressing. I'm with my boys trying to figure this whole situation out. They're from France. They also heard about this, and it's actually sad, to be honest. It's actually sad, and I don't know how to react to it, because we were all expecting it, but not this soon, though. You know what I mean. I don't know how to say it. I don't have words.
It's a moment of collective grief. It's also a moment of collective celebration for all that Nelson Mandela stood for. The news, of course, was broken to the world by South African President Jacob Zuma just half an hour before midnight on Friday night. He expressed his sorrow. He also hailed the legacy that Madiba has left behind.
Our nation